Wanted to make this video because of my disappointment. Now, to say I didn't expect this from Ken is something that I think would be false. It's like saying, did I expect Ian Flynn to attack his fans at some point? I did. I just didn't know when it would be, although what's more surprising, though, is the fact that it would even go to that as early as it is, because, both of them have a tendency to word things a lot better than they usually do, or than most. Well, Flynn has a tendency to write things better than most SJWs, and Penders, well, he's an establishment Democrat, so to say I didn't expect crap from them is, it's an understatement. So that's a really big understatement, but despite Sonic's attitude, I never saw him as a character who wouldn't protect the weak and vulnerable, or disrespect females, or attack others because they were different. So I have to wonder why any Sonic fan could or would support Trump and the GOP. Yeah, that's bad. It gets better. I don't support Trump, but I will say that, between him and Hillary, Trump is the lesser of two evils. I would have preferred Dr. Jill Stein, the Green Party candidate, but no way in hell was anyone going to vote for a third party. And of course, Ken has to blow it, unfortunately. I've really lost all respect for you, Alex. No rational person can come to that conclusion. You really approve of children separated from parents, giving the rich tax breaks while getting ready to eliminate the social safety net for the working class? Believe women are second class? We're talking... Oh, if you're talking about the Democratic candidate, Hillary, she's married to a guy who's done two of those things. Giving the rich tax breaks, taking away... she's married to a guy who has a habit of attacking women. And not only that, but she was supported by Wall Street, so does that tell you what you're talking... So I don't really know what exactly you're talking about in terms of him him supporting that kind of stuff. Not only that, but Obama had a lot of the immigrant families were separated during Obama's run, so yeah, more so than Trump. Rude. What's rude? I'm expressing myself honestly and asking for clarification. Are you saying you disagree with separating children from parents and all the rest? And so this person responds, you said you lost all respect for a fan who, may I point out, defended you in the past, just because of an opinion. I'm not one to take any fan for granted, especially one who has defended me in the past. That said, I'm not about to compromise my belief system in favor of a person's support. That's not how this works. Okay, you don't have to compromise your morals, Ken, but you have to realize, though, is that you're not going to agree with everybody. There's people who do things that I really, really don't agree with. But guess what? I don't attack them for it, and they know I really, really disagree with their positions, and they agree to disagree with a lot of my positions. We don't attack each other over that. We usually have a very civil discussion about it. And if you want to have a civil discussion, why the hell did you word it like that? I ask. Let's go back a little bit. I've really lost all respect for you, Alex. No rational person can come to that conclusion. After he says, do you really understand what a bully is? And he says, I didn't call Alex any names, nor did I troll him. I didn't renounce him or make fun of him in any way. If anything, I was perplexed by his statements. That was a math equation that didn't add up, and that was his response to that. Where is the insult? I'm being very serious. Compare my statements with anything Trump has said about Dr. Ford. Do you support what he said about her? If so, how is what I said even on par with those statements? And, a lot of the fans are in support of him, and by him I mean Alex. Because that was pretty tough for him, because Alex is one of his biggest fans. And I'm disappointed in Ken especially, because I'm someone who thinks that Ken's writing just eclipses Flynn. He can run circles around Flynn's writing, but as people, they could be very, very bad. I guess I really shouldn't have been surprised, but again, though, I wasn't really surprised with either of them doing this shit, so what more did I expect? Don't do this, Penders. You are better than Flynn. I'm not gonna lie, I cried for 2 hours after I read that. That stung hard. Well, that's just because you're a pussy. I am. And there's nothing wrong with that, lol. It's joking. It's just fun joking. trying to cheer him up and such. Although this is, I think, is probably the worst response to this. You had respect for someone who had a gigantic hate boner for IDW Sonic. Again, if you don't like what I like, then you're automatically a horrible person and don't deserve any respect. Like, hypocrisy at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Surprising to see you turning your back on someone who has defended your ass for the past years. He didn't do it very well, but he had the determination to defend your monologuing and continuous lawsuit-hidden sibling ass. Good to know I have another reason to call you shit, sir. And keep in mind, though, is that some of these guys are Flynn fans who weren't particularly positive of Alex, and they're defending him. And I think that actually puts a smile on my face, to be honest with you. But I don't want anyone. If you're watching this video, for the love of God, do not attack anyone involved in any of this. Although, I thought this one was pretty good. That awkward moment when you can't even discuss politics without bringing up a fictional blue hedgehog. Yeah. But, you know, establishment Democrats have just gone completely fucking insane. And yeah, granted, this really was something I should have seen coming. Well, I did kind of see it coming at some point, but you know, when you're that angry at somebody in a group because they were in support of somebody, it will become it can get pretty bad. And I have no idea what the hell Penders was thinking, saying that, oh, the GOP is evil, or even why he attacked someone who was in support of Jill Stein. Because that's really the biggest question here, though, is that again, Alex didn't even say he supported Trump, but Penders, because Alex said, oh, well, I would have preferred Jill Stein, but Trump is the lesser of two evils, you know, that really put him in a bad, you know, that the way he responded to that put him in a bad spot. And, you know, just like how Flynn needs to apologize to his fan base for calling a good portion of them pieces of shit, well, they probably won't. Penders needs to apologize to Alex for saying he lost all respect for him. And, you know, you have to have respect for people. And then, like I said, I don't agree with a lot of the things my friends do or say or believe. And they don't agree with a lot of stuff I do say or believe. But guess what? We don't say, oh, I hate you, or I don't have any respect for you at all after hearing this stuff, because what kind of person? Most people don't do that. And there's some people who are saying, oh, this is pretty, oh, yeah, but, I mean, it's mostly just, how could you do this? And it's more people bring up the hypocrisy in this. Hillary and her supporters are no better. Trying to take away freedom of speech. Freedom is the exact thing Sonic fights for. And yeah, it doesn't really get much better. It just never, ever, ever improves in this. It's just depressing to look at. Oh god, this. It's not that you have a different political opinion, it's just that you seem unable to rationally justify it. Also, you have gone in many fights in the past. I told you to back off. I don't want fights over things like who wrote the better stories and any sort of that. And then Trinity responds, I was sick of people unfairly bashing you without looking at the facts. And he says, no one asked you to. Maybe, and Nox, the echidna, replies, maybe, but he still did, because he doesn't like bullies. I'm talking the legal stuff, not you versus Ian arguments, because people despise you for shit you have done. They aren't trolls, they just don't know the truth, so he tries to spread the good word. And that's the thing. And it's, you know, especially at a time where, you know, the pre-160 Archie issues are getting a lot of bashing, and most of that bashing really is just coming from a bunch of shills. And this isn't going to help his case. Now, this isn't going to affect my outlook on the previous issues of Archie before 160. It's not. Even Flynn being a jackass didn't affect my views on the issues of his that I actually did like. It doesn't. And that's the problem people don't seem to realize, is that you know, if you disagree with some people or disagree with what they do, you shouldn't, you know, make enemies out of people for that reason. Because, you know, I got lots of friends. I got some friends who did support Hillary Clinton, and I tried to make best with them. And some of them didn't exactly, you know, like the fact that I was in support of Trump, particularly. But, you know, that's just kind of how that shit goes. There's not really much else I can say at this point. Other than that, it's just... Remember to respect your fucking fans. Don't shit where you eat. If someone has been, I mean, yeah, he, again, if someone's defending you and trying to help you out, you owe them something. You owe them something, and that's my point. You owe them something. But other than that, I don't really have much else to say, other than, Penders, you really do owe Alex an apology for this. Because the internet doesn't forgive. Well, they forgive, but they don't usually forget. Well, maybe they don't forgive either. I don't know, but still, I think you owe Alex an apology for this. That's all I have to say. Bye.